Hey, what is up guys, it is Slikk or Slcmof here. I'm back again with another video, and Matt Reves, who I just learned is actually the director of War of the Planet of the Apes, is going to be directing the Batman film, and chances are it's not going to be coming out until 2019. Unfortunately, he is just basically beginning work on it right now. Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns have been working on the script for a little bit, I do believe, but Matt Reves has a different vision, I do feel, for the character. So he wants to take Batman to a noir-driven place, and that being a very relatable place, and he describes that he feels that Caesar, who's like the main ape, gorilla person, whatever, in War of the Planet of the Apes, and the Apes franchise, whole trilogy, that I don't believe that he directed all of them, but anyway, has a lot of parallels to Batman. Personally, from his explanation, I don't know if I see them a lot, but he says that Caesar is just trying to do the right thing in an imperfect world, and I guess Batman is trying to do the same. Certainly that is true, but that's a very broad stroke to create. I mean, you can pretty much say this thing about every hero in anything ever, just about. But with that being said, we see that, you know, a noir-driven Batman, what does this really mean? Well, when I think of noir Batman, I think of The Long Halloween. Probably the most iconic detective Batman comic of all time. It involves pretty much every Batman villain, and that's what I love about it, and that's something that I was hoping to have in this movie as well. And what I was also hoping to see was Arkham Asylum for the first time in a real big way. Batman, of course, Arkham Asylum is in the very first Christopher Nolan Batman film. I didn't love Arkham Asylum's portrayal in that film. I thought it was okay. Not quite up to the classic grandeur of other mainstream media interpretations of it, for instance, Assault on Arkham, and for other instance, you know, Batman Arkham games, etc. And also, I think in comics it's generally portrayed much better, such as Legend of the Dark Knight, you know, Annual, and stuff like that. But anyway, my point is this. A noir-driven Batman film is one in which Batman is a detective a lot, and this worries me a little bit, because one of the big complaints that we've had about War of the Planet of the Apes, evidently, is that it's sort of a misnomer for that film. Particularly, there isn't really, like, a lot of action in the film, from what I've understood. Some towards the end, I think, but really it's more of a drama. And I don't mind that at all for a Batman film, and with that being said, though, I feel that mainstream audiences aren't going to like a film that doesn't have a lot of action. And to be fair, not me either, because, you know, Batman v Superman was relatively low on action, if you exclude the final act of the movie. I guess you could say that for a lot of movies, but I mean, there is a lot of action in the end, but it is somewhat of a slow burn at the middle, I will argue, even though I love Batman v Superman. There are points in the middle where there's just like, it's just a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue, a lot of plot, and sometimes it's good to intermingle some action scenes in there. And, you know, in my Batman film, if I were to make one, which I'm not, I would definitely have a lot of action. I think that, you know, the very nature of Batman being that he can't just take out 40 guys instantly like Superman could, or the Flash, for instance, means that you can draw out a lot of action scenes, and you can make action scenes way more intense, because otherwise, like I said, a Superman can just take out 40 guys easy. Batman, on the other hand, you know, he can barely take out 20. Not barely, but it's going to take him some time to get through those 20 guys, is what I'm saying. And that's something that I hope that they'll have a lot of action there. You can have the noir themes in it, but, you know, that doesn't mean we need to go on, you know, FBI, you know, CSI Miami, you know, CSI Gotham, Batman, or whatever, and just having him, you know, decoding clues and being a detective the whole time. That's, of course, a part of Batman, but not all of it. And I think that that's something that a lot of media portrayals have done pretty well for Batman, the Arkham games especially. But I would say, though, that I'm still very much looking forward to the film. And I like the idea of the noir-driven Batman, because there's so many other ways that could go that would be way worse. For instance, you know, the campy direction, you know, R.I.P. Adam West, but that era is sort of over for Batman, most assuredly. And also, you know, again, there are some ways that you could go with Batman that I think could go horribly wrong. Noir, though, does scare me that perhaps it'll be a little bit too dark. For me, what I like to see in a Batman movie is not only the Bat family, so Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, etc., but also, you know, a side of Bruce that's a little bit more, you know, chillaxed, I guess, a little bit lighter. And I do like to see Batman joking around with Robin and Batgirl in the Batcave, and being sociable, I suppose, with some people, and working together with people. Those sort of things are things that I like. Noir Batman to me kind of sounds a little bit darker, which, again, I don't mind at all. I don't mind the dark part, but I do hope that we get to see a little glimmer of I guess, happiness or light or something like that out of Batman, because I do generally enjoy that. You know, BVS definitely was very heavy on the darkness for Batman, and I think it's okay to have Batman crack a few jokes and seem to have fun with Robin and Batgirl and stuff like that in the Batcave. That, to me, is what makes a Batman movie. That's what the animated series has done so well. Of course, he's his classic, sarcastic, smart-ass self, but you can still have that done in an intelligent way. So that's a little bit of an insight of what Matt Reeves wants to do with this Batman solo film. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Not a whole ton of information, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on that very briefly. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. The Batman, once again, probably not hitting until 2019, but we'll be patiently awaiting its arrival when it does indeed come. Otherwise, I believe we have a Batgirl movie on the way, and perhaps even a Nightwing film. That'll certainly hold us over until the Batman in 2019. Hopefully Matt Reeves gets cooking on it pretty soon. I cannot wait to see this film. And again, my wish list, a lot of villains and a lot of Bat family characters. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.